evening and welcome to the Catering Circle Restaurant Talent Star Show. I'm of course Tanya Rahman and I'll be your host for tonight's show. On this week's episode, we're serving up a special dose of grit and inspiration. We're hearing stories from 7 self-made millionaires of how they've turned their passion into profit and built empires from the ground up. Get ready to be inspired by the sheer drive and determination that have made these culinary entrepreneurs unstoppable. But before we do, here's a quick introduction to our very special panel judges who'll be grilling our 7 contestants tonight. So let's start off with a man that needs absolutely no introduction. We have Mr. MD Abdul Haq, the founder of the Catering Circle himself. He's a chairman of Television and he's also the MD of Purple Eye Technologies and Dinet. So welcome back to the show.
But still, fair enough. Thank you. Thank you, Tanya.
You're welcome. Our second panel judge is Bashir Ahmed, who's the former president of the BBCCI. He's the founder of chairman of Rock Asset Management Limited and the chairman and MD of Prospect Gaze Limited. And he's a prominent entrepreneur with investments in, get ready for it, aviation, property, food processing and renewable energy. So you've got a very diverse portfolio there, sir, haven't you?
Thank you for the great introduction. Thank you.
And finally, but by no means least, we have a man, well, that also needs no introduction to regular Catering Circle fans. He's, of course, the finalist of the Restaurant Star Show in 2018 and the winner of the Catering Circle Restaurant Talent Show himself. It's Mr. Toff Mia. And Toff, you are the president of the BBCA and also an executive member of the Catering Circle. So welcome back to the hot seat.
Wonderful to be here. Exciting to see what we will hear from the participant.
Yes, very much so. We're all looking forward to that. Right, so before we kick off the show with 3 rounds, let's have a quick clip of tonight's topic.
Episode 6, Self-Made Millionaire. Inspiring tales of entrepreneurial successes and financial triumph. Discover the exciting journeys of self-made millionaires who transformed humble beginnings in the restaurant industry into thriving multi-million-pound empires. From the kitchen to millions. Every success story has a starting point, and for these remarkable individuals, it began in the kitchen. From working as cooks or waitstaff, they embraced hard work, faced challenges head-on, and seized every opportunity that came their way. Through dedication and innovation, they transformed their early experiences into successful restaurant chains and food enterprises. Their journeys from the ground up are a testament to the power of perseverance and vision. Recipe for success. What does it take to go from a small start to staggering success? These industry leaders share their winning strategies: effective restaurant management, inventive menu planning, exceptional customer service and savvy marketing. They've mastered not just the culinary arts, but the art of business. Beyond the kitchen, they've diversified, making wise investments that expanded their wealth and influence far beyond the restaurant industry. Cost saving, revenue growth, and giving back. Success isn't just about accumulating wealth, it's about making a difference. These self-made millionaires have learned how to streamline operations, cut costs, and maximize profits. But they also understand the importance of giving back. From supporting sustainable farming to providing culinary education and feeding the underprivileged, they're using their wealth to create lasting impacts. For them, the true measure of success is how they contribute to the greater good. Uncover the secrets behind their remarkable journeys and find inspiration for your own path to success.
Now, there's a variety of topics that our 7 contestants will need to cover in tonight's topic, which is self-made millionaire. But they haven't got here today with just on their own merit. They've had some special help along the way from our special mentors. So let's do a quick introduction to our 2 mentors tonight. I'll start off with Shatil Islam. So, Shatil, you're the winner of the Catering Circle Talent Show 2018, and you're also owner of Grills on Wheels. Fabulous name. I love that name, which is a corporate catering company in the event management and catering sector. Welcome to the show.
Thank you very much.
And secondly, we have Ruhul Shamsuddin, aka the Big Silver One, who is the executive member also of the Catering Circle, but viewers at home might know him as the influencer. You might see him on your TikTok and Instagram pages now and again. But you're also the director of Lordson, and a successful business in the catering sector. So welcome back to the show.
Thank you. Very kind, Tanya. I'm looking forward to it.
Right, so those are our two mentors. Now let's go over to our special judges. Now, viewers at home, you may remember that our special judges hold 40% of the vote, while our panel judges hold 60%. So let's start off with our first judge that we're going to introduce, which is Fajli Bibi. Fajli is a president and co-founder of the Global Centre of Excellence in Sustainability. She's also a TV presenter, so for those that might have seen her on your telly, she hosts The Curry King on Kanchi TV. She's a chairwoman and director of a number of businesses and NGOs. Welcome to the show, Fajli.
Good evening. It's a pleasure to be here today.
It's a pleasure to have you. Secondly, we have Atikul Rahman. Right, a face again that viewers might remember. Atikul Rahman is a chartered accountant and director of RCI Chartered Accountants. Welcome back to the show, sir. Good to see you.
Thank you.
Brilliant. Thirdly, we have Sufyan Mia, director of Sampan Group, also, a multi-award winning restaurant, winner of, I think, what was it? I can't remember how many awards you have now.
About 10.
Yeah, about 10, okay. And also successful businessman in the Catering Circle. Welcome back to the show.
Thank you very much, Tan.
Brilliant. And finally, but by no means least, we had Mohammed Shabuddin, CEO, Managing Director of Biani Bazaar Cancer and General Hospital. Any guesses as to where that might be located? No, okay. Founder of Tower Tandoori. Oh, one of my favourites. And one of London's oldest tandoori restaurants. Welcome to the show.
Thank you. Nice to be here.
Yeah, pleasure to be here as well. Fab. Okay, so those are all of our judges. Like I mentioned, we have, the judges have 60% of the votes, the panel judges, and our special judges have 40%. We have 3 rounds of 7 contestants. Each round, 2 contestants will be eliminated with only 1 winner at the end to be crowned the Restaurant Talent Star Show of this episode. Right, so without further ado, let's get this round started. So, our first contestant to the stage will be Olive. We're going to run to the profiles, okay? Right, lovely to see a variety of contestants there from up and down the country, and also a variety of cuisines, which is what we want to see. So, round 1, let's begin. So round 1 is about from the kitchen to becoming a millionaire. We basically want to hear the stories of how our contestants got from humble beginnings to becoming where they are today. So we'll be discussing what inspired your journey and what key challenges did you overcome. But before we do, here's a quick intro. Right, so reminder, round 1 is about success stories from our restaurateurs to how they became self-made millionaires. So let's call the first contestant up to the stage, which is Olive Naturally Indian, Suhail Ahmed. Welcome, Suhail. Hi.
Assalamu alaikum, everyone.
Walaikum salam.
Lovely to be here.
A pleasure for you to be here as well. Before you kick off, just a quick reminder, Suhail, you do have 2 minutes to talk about your story. Please focus on what inspired your journey and any challenges that you overcame along the way. When the time is up, I'm going to press the bell. Yeah. You can finish your sentence, but nothing more, okay?
Oh, thank you so much. All right. We started from a small takeaway. Then we came with the Indian restaurant, proper fine dining Indian restaurant, and we came with some different menu ideas, and we with different chefs from India, to be honest, and our menu is bit different from other Indian restaurant. We bring street food to Indians dining restaurant, which is became so popular in our area, and we got few branches, to be honest, and all they're doing very well at the moment. And our accountant here as well, he knows he's our accountant, RCA accountant. And to be honest, I love to be in curry industry, and is our passion to doing in curry industry, and it's very hard to maintain this stage, to be honest. Like it's very at the moment, cost cutting, and it's really hard to maintain, and we are energy saving and sustainability is very hard at the moment, and we still going through this, and we're doing well, to be honest, and we're trying to open more restaurants in future, and looking forward to see it, to be honest. And to be honest, I will advise next generation to come with the new innovation, new menu, and new creative chef, okay? And I would love to see more people coming to the industry, and I'm inviting new generation to come to our industry and keep it running as our previous generations is long time is in this industry, and we're looking forward to see it, to be honest. And love to see everyone here. Love to hear from other brothers, hear their success stories, and they came from different industries. Thank you so much.
Perfect. Thanks very much, Suhail from Olive Naturally Indian. Well done. Thank you
so much.
Right. Well, that's 1 down, but we have 6 to go. But we'll be hearing from the others straight after this break. Welcome back to the Catering Circle Restaurant Talent Star Show. My name is Tanya Rahman, and I'm your host for tonight's show. If you've just joined us, then don't panic, you haven't missed too much. We've just kicked off round 1 with one contestant who's spoken about their restaurant success story to becoming a self-made millionaire. So we heard previously from Olive Naturally Kitchen, Suhail Ahmed, who's now sat back down. We have 6 more contestants to hear from. So I'll call the second contestant up to the stage, who is Radhuni Talha Oded. Welcome to the stage, Talha.
Assalamu alaikum. Thank you for bringing me onto the Catering Circle.
You're very welcome.
It is a great pleasure to be on your show, watched by many in the UK.
Absolutely.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Well, as before, you'll have 2 minutes to tell the judges and the audience at home your restaurant success story, how you've gone from the kitchen table to becoming a self-made millionaire. You'll have 2 minutes. Once the time is up, you'll hear the buzzer. So when you're ready, off you go.
Thank you. So I started off as a waiter, not knowing everything. Obviously, learning as I'm working. I had to learn from, obviously, my dad, because obviously I was working for him since young. So he's taught me a lot, and it's got to where I am today. And now, obviously, I've got my own restaurant, and had to sacrifice a lot of family time to get it to where it is and to make it successful. So that was one of the challenges that we had to face. But that's just the way. That's just the way to keep, make it successful. And yeah, to be fair, I left school from an early age as well, which led me to the restaurant industry as well. And the passion came from it straight away, to be fair. So a lot of work hours went down, and had no time to make like sociable hours for myself, to be fair. But it is where it is now today. It's a successful restaurant. It's not easy. No one says it's going to be easy, but that's just how it is and where it's gone now to this day. Yeah, so.
Got you. Okay. And what makes your restaurant successful?
What makes it successful? Yeah. It's the food and the hours of prep work that goes into it. So, like, we're not like any other Indian restaurant. We actually come a lot earlier. Like the normal chicken and the meat. How some people pre-cook it. We like to cook it on the day. Mm-hmm. So the customers will get that extra flavour in their curries or whatever it is. Even something small like a chicken tikka and a naan bread or whatever it is. Yeah.
Brilliant. All right. Thanks very much, Talha from Radhuni. You can take a seat.
Thank you.
Brilliant. Excellent. So that was Radhuni in Kings Heath, Talha Oded. Our third contestant to the stage is Al Badir Restaurant in Birmingham, Ahmed Badir. Welcome, Ahmed.
Thank you so much for having me. Appreciate it. Thank you. Travelled a long way to come here, and it's an absolute pleasure. So thank you so much.
We appreciate you making the effort.
Thank you so much. Very kind of you.
Right. So as before, 2 minutes. Off you go.
Yeah. I'm from Birmingham. We are a Lebanese restaurant. We opened our first restaurant back in 2006, and since then we've run from strength to strength. Our sole focus is creating an authentic and traditional Lebanese and Arabic menu, and Al Badir Restaurant was the first restaurant in Birmingham to emulate that. I think family is kind of what run through the brand. Family is very important for us. It's run through the team that we create and the atmosphere that we create in the restaurant. So it's a family-run business, but in the same time as well, it's very much a family-orientated restaurant. So we focus a lot on, as I mentioned, families, groups, and local people in our community. And that's what kind of made us so successful and made us very strong in the market that we are in. Myself, my own background is in marketing, but I started working for the family business while I was studying, and I had to learn everything from kind of scratch, because in the catering industry, especially if you are one of the owners, it's very important that you know everything, because one day if one of the staff or one of whoever is working decided to go away, it's very important that you know how to cover that place. And alhamdulillah, I've been able to, starting honestly from KP to working on the floor, to become a floor manager, to working in the kitchen, to become a restaurant manager. So I worked through the ranks, and I'll always bring it back to my dad. That went really quick.
Yeah, and that's a good way to end. So maybe you talk about your dad in the next round. If you
yes, thank you so much.
Well, thank you very much. Right, so that was Ahmed Badir from Al Badir Restaurant in Birmingham. Our fourth contestant is Mohammed Lakil from Tabouleh Kitchen, also in Birmingham.
Hello, everyone.
Hello. Hi, welcome to the stage, Mohammed.
Thank you very much.
Lovely.
Thank you for having me.
Pleasure to have you here. Yeah. Right, so as before, you do have 2 minutes. We'd like for you to focus, going back to what the topic of this round is, on what inspired your journey and any key challenges that you've overcome to get to where you are today. Those are the key things the judges are looking for.
Yeah.
So when you're ready.
Well, I have to speak from my heart.
Of course.
My journey was so long. I came from a long way. I've been here for 21 years now. The first decades I was illegal. I did my best to get my chances to work, rather to do something else, you know. I had my papers and I was legal. I had my degree in the kitchen, cookery. And I worked with someone who gave me everything. I mean, everything. I worked for him for 6-7 years. And then when I got, you know, I got well, I learned everything. I had my practice done well. I traveled to Turkey and Lebanon and Morocco. I had some ideas. I liked it over there. I said, why shall I should bring the things here to England, to people. So my boss, he helped me, and we got Taboola opened in 2019. And I'll thank him. I'll thank him. Whatever I do for him, it's just, you know, if he's not much. Well, the restaurant is doing well. We opened 2019. The pandemic hurt us a bit, but we pick up. The people loved us. We love people as well. I'll try to satisfy my customers as much as I can. And as I said, I've done my degree, so I know what I'm talking about. I know what I'm doing.
Brilliant. Thank you very much,
Thank you
Mohammed.
very much.
Your story is one that feels like it should be on like the Diary of a CEO podcast. It's
Well,
so
I
inspiring.
thought
how you
people
started.
should have, know what's, story. It's motivating, actually.
Definitely.
That's the way I see it.
Yeah. Well, hopefully, look forward to hearing more in the next round.
Thank you
Take
very
a seat. Thank you very much. That was Mohammed Lakil from Taboola Kitchen in Birmingham. Right, our fifth contestant to the stage is none other than Samir Ahmed from Miso Hospitality Group in Sussex. Welcome to the stage, Samir.
Thank you very much. Good evening to our esteemed judges. It's lovely to see you all here today.
Just a quick tip for you, Samir, before you start. The judges are wanting to hear particularly how you made your millions. So, as I mentioned before, from humble kitchen table to multi-millionaire. Off you go.
Perfect. So in the grand theatre of life, our dreams became reality. I started off at knee height. I couldn't even see the countertop. My inspiration was my father. He always had the dream, and he said to me to make somewhere special where people can come and eat. And not just eat, not just a room full of guests, but an experience that people will remember for a lifetime. So what I tried to do is I tried to take my father's vision, my mother's support, and expand it as much as we could. So by the grace of God, we was able to build it up to 17 branches. That's where we've got it so far. It's just me, my father, and my brother, and our amazing 500 staff team. We started from scratch. My father had a vision. He came to the country with no investment, no partners, nothing. And he told us to believe and achieve our dreams. So where did we go? I remember a really funny story, actually. I was 10 years old, and I was on the phone to install my very first EPOS system. 10 years old, and I couldn't reach the countertop. I stood on a stool, and I was on the phone to the gentleman at Purple Eye, and I was finding out how can I build the EPOS system. Since then, it's been 13 years, 17 more installations that we've done, and I'm finally happy to say I can do it by myself without standing on a stool. And finally, we've built these relationships over the last 15 to 20 years, and what a privilege it's been.
Brilliant, and on time as well. You still have time to spare. Thank you very much, Samir. What a natural storyteller you are. Fantastic. Well, you can very quickly, if you can. Yeah, we'll go to questions later.
Did you say 500 staff?
500 staff.
Okay, fantastic. Okay, thank you very much, Samir. Thank you. Well, that was Samir Ahmed from Miso Hospitality Kitchen in Sussex. Next, we have Chai Green by Hasnain Siddiqui, also based in Birmingham. Welcome to the stage, Hasnain.
Welcome. Hi, everyone. Thank you for having me on the show here.
Brilliant. Well, whenever you're ready, Hasnain, the floor is yours.
Thank you so much. Look, this is a story of a young boy with lots of dream. The story goes back about 4 years in 2020. I was working for Vodafone in London at West London in Paddington as a senior accountant for Vodafone. Had a job offer to move to Qatar, which was starting in April. But you sort of never know where the life takes you. I lost my father to COVID in March 2020. And life was a bit of upside down. What do I do? The accountancy career was challenging, but wasn't stimulating enough for me to spend my next 20, 30 years, right? What did I like doing the most? Food was my passion. And I'm like, okay, let's open up food trade. Went, spoke to lots of people. They're like, Mr. Siddiqui, Hussain, you're a professional accountant. Leave the dirty work to us. You go, put your blue suit on and work as an accountant. I'm like, look, we need to do something. I wanted to create a brand that just didn't benefit me from a commercial point of view, but had a positive impact on community, not straight away, but 5 years down the line, 10 years down the line. And it's something that I can pass on to my generation ahead. There was a lot of thing for chai. So the theme was to create something with tea and just invite people in for a cup of tea for a casual conversation, and everything else would follow. So I made a brand called Chai Green. Took us about 9 months to sort of come up with a concept, what we wanted to do, the menu. And we launched, best timing ever, sorry for the sarcasm, in just after COVID. October 2020, I remember, right? At that point, you could not apply to any of the government grants. There was no such... Oh.
You can finish your sentence, yeah.
There was no such things as government grants. And we lost about £90,000 in the first 6 months. 4 years on, the brand's valued about £2 million. We've got 7 sites across England.
Fantastic. What a way to finish.
Thank you.
Well, thank you very much, Hussain Siddiqui from Chai Green in Birmingham. 7 sites across Birmingham, so viewers, you might see one when you're popping on your local shopping trip. Finally, by no means least, our final contestant for round 1 is Onslow Balti Lounge, Shamim Ahmed from Shrewsbury. So mixing things up geographically now from Birmingham to Shrewsbury. Yep. Welcome to the show, Shamim.
Thank you very much.
The floor is yours.
Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum salam.
When I came in this country, I was alone, and me and my wife. I started my job as a kitchen porter, and when I bought my restaurant, my wife, she's waiting room. She sold her jewelry and give my money. And we bought 20 years ago, 4 partners, all of them gone, because business was not enough. The previous owner, he spent that time is £65,000. He didn't run 6 months. And I bought that one. That business was £990, something like that, weekly. And my partner, all of them gone. I started 18 hours a shift since 2007. Still, I am doing 15 to 16 hours every day, 7 days a week. And I bought my family member here as a work permit sector base, all of them. I took about advantage to government facilities. And that Onslow Balti legacy, not for myself, my 6 brothers as well. All of them own a different restaurant, and they're all of them success. That's all. It's still my journey, not easy, but I struggle lots. And also I got different type of business as well.
Brilliant. And may I ask, have you been able to replace your wife's jewellery?
Of course.
Yes.
Of course.
Good.
Still she's supporting me. And because sometimes I struggle myself, and she said, no, you can't back up. Move forward. Always still move forward.
Fantastic. Excellent. Thanks very much. Thank you very much, Mr. Shamim Ahmed from Onslow Balti Lounge. You've been brilliant. Our final contestant for this round. You can take a seat.
Thank you very much, madam.
Thank you. Take care. Lovely. So we've heard from all 7 of our contestants on their stories from humble kitchen table beginnings to multi-award-winning and successful millionaires today. So now we're going to head to our judges to really hear what they thought of our 7 contestants. So I'll start off with our panel judges. So, Mr. Abdul Haq, what did you think of the contestants' stories of their self-made millionaires?
It's hit and miss. There are quite a few I liked, but basically what we're expecting is you had a humble beginning and then how you made your millions. We haven't got that story right yet because, you know, what's the concept there is, what type of investment they've done. You know, it doesn't have to be from catering industry, could have done on real estate, could be stocks and other sorts of income, multiple investment where you made your millions. But that hasn't really covered, but there's quite a few people covered how they did it from restaurants, so that's quite inspiring to me.
Yeah, no, that's absolutely
I'm
true.
looking forward for the next 2 episode round, basically, to cover those areas.
Yeah. Okay, no, that's true. I think I probably heard from one contestant about the story and the journey, but the others perhaps it's a little bit vague. Yeah. Okay, well, let's go to Bashir Ahmed. Mr. Ahmed, what did you think of our 7 contestants' story?
Well, it's great to hear their emotion, expressing their experience. It might be inspiring for new entrepreneurs. But of course, definitely we miss the real storyline, and I agree with my honorable colleague. So I think success stories should be shortened but to the point, according to the guideline provided by the host institution. So I'm looking forward to hearing from them more, of course. Emotion is good, but we need to hear the practical experience as well. Thank you.
Yeah, well, luckily this is our first round, so the contestants do have 2 other rounds to redeem themselves, so hopefully we'll hear more sharper pictures in those rounds. And how about you, Mr. Tofazil? What did you think? Any standouts for you?
Well, I couldn't disagree with my panel judges here. Well, we've heard mixed, really, but there is another 3 rounds to go. We've heard long hours, emotion, challenges, success as well. Mm-hmm. So I'm looking forward to the next rounds, really.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. So you wouldn't say any stood out for you in this round?
There is, but am I allowed to? Because I'll be marking.
That's true. So maybe not, but keep a note.
I'll be letting the cat out.
Yeah, fantastic, brilliant. And we'll move over to our mentors then. So if we look at our mentors, I'll start with you, big silver one. Okay. Yeah? How did you think your contestants did?
Like the judges said, it'll be nice to hear about the also successes but failures, where they've failed, how many millions they've lost, the VAT bills and, you know, your day-to-day. We want to hear more about that, but your passion and your drive, every single one of you, absolutely brilliant. But just more about the reality of how you became a self-made millionaire.
Yeah, exactly. The not so glamorous stuff, I think, is just what we want to hear.
The reality of it all.
Yeah, absolutely. And how about you then, Shatil? Your contestants, how do you think they did?
I mean, they done good. All their stories are really, touching. But I would ask them to, make bullet points, focus on the points that's been, given to you in the handouts, and obviously, positives and negatives together with examples. We can go on about our life journey, but if you want to be judged, then you look at the points, make bullet points, and stick to your time frame. And but all of them, hands off. You guys are really worked hard, but because it's a competition. So look at the bullet points. Stick to your notes, and you'll be fine.
Absolutely, yeah, it's a very good point. It is a competition at the end of the day. We need to see more examples.
That's right.
And there's only one winner, so you can't just be wishy-washy, hey?
Exactly. It's a doggy world out there.
Yes, definitely. Okay, brilliant. Thank you very much. And now we'll head over to our special judges. I'll start with you, Fajli Bibi. I mean, you've hosted the Curry King before, so I know it's a slightly different format, but what did you think of our contestants so far and their stories?
I think from what I can see, they seem to be doing well, but I didn't actually hear the story of how they become who they are, because you're an inspiration to the next generation, and it's that inspiration story that I was looking for. And I didn't actually hear from some of them, but one of them actually did do really well, and I was very impressed with them as well. But I'm not going to name that.
Yeah, I think we all know between us. Yeah, but it's fine. The results will be telling, I guess.
But it is quite nerve-wracking being in front of a camera, in front of the judges. So I think they've all done really well.
Yeah, fantastic. Okay, brilliant. And I'll head to you then, Atikur Rahman. You know, you've got kind of cheating, haven't you? You've got one of your clients.
Yeah, one of my clients is there.
I think you're not allowed to vote for that one.
And not this is the first time. You know, last year, one of my clients, he won the competition. And the year before, one of my other clients, he won the competition. So
well, there you go.
I'm a lucky one, I guess.
Yeah.
But yeah, today, of course, we all wanted to hear the success story. We all wanted to hear how they made their millions. So far, I think they couldn't hit the point yet. So hopefully in the next two, of course, not episodes, rounds,
yeah.
we will hear the success story, I guess.
Sure.
So which will inspire the others and which will inspire the youngs.
And I guess for you, you probably want to hear how our contestants made their millions in a tax-efficient way, right?
Yeah, no, of course, I know roughly how they made their millions, but I wanted to hear them from their mouth, basically, because they need to realize how they made their millions, and then they need to tell it that how they made their millions.
Yeah, with a bit of creative accounting, eh?
Yeah, I'm a very creative one. So.
I don't think you should say that on live telly, but hey, all right. Thank you very much, Mr. Rahman. Okay, and I head to Sufyan. Now, Sufyan, you are, the real deal. You've done what our contestants have done and worn the T-shirt. So what do you think of the story so far presented?
Thank you for the compliment, by the way. But I think, look, first of all, we have to accept that every story individually is inspirational. Well done to you all. But I think what we need to do is we're in the corporate world, or you guys are in the corporate world, and you need to look at each segment in details. And like the mentor said, the harsh reality of life, the harsh reality pinpointing every segment, the downfalls, the stresses, the VAT bills, the tax bills, and sometimes you're hit with unfortunate circumstances. Again, COVID was one of them. So for me, there are, there's one particular one we'll say, but you have to look at the details and go into harsh reality and what made you to come over those harsh reality to come to the other side, detailing the millions, how you got there. For me, that's what it is, really.
Yeah, for sure. I think it's so easy to talk about, the positives and the rainbows and fairy tales of building a business, but it's not so easy talking about the adversity. And that's where the rawness comes in. And this is exactly what, no one became a millionaire just through, ease. It took a lot of hard work. And I think that's what we wanted to see a bit more. Yeah. So hopefully in the next 2 rounds, contestants, we can really talk about perhaps the unattractive things about building a business as well. Those will really help with the points system.
Yeah, but that's where the growth is.
Yeah.
That's where you learn from the most, the failures. And without failures, there is no success stories without any failures. So, and that's where you learn and you prevail, come the other side. So let's see what happens in the next segments.
Definitely.
Thank
Excellent. You. And finally, but no means least, Mohammed Shabuddin. What did you think of our contestants?
Well, thank you for giving me the chance. I've been watching every one of them, and it's reminded me of my old days as well. And very interesting histories there that we heard just now. We've got a lot to hear as well, 2 more segments to go. So I want to hear the lot, so I can make my judgment. But they're doing their best. Yes. I can see that.
No, definitely. Well, Tower Tandoori is an institution in itself, and I'm sure you've got many stories to share.
47 years of my life have been given to a restaurant is a lot. And again, in day-to-day life, we're into business of other types, and we're learning every day. And every young man who came here, and some middle-aged men, we are listening. We are learning. Again, it's no ending to learn. But I can hear the stories that they're experiencing that we have been there before. Very encouraging, and I'm sure you will come up with your other stories. A few colleagues of mine mentioned about how you're managing your finances as well, as long as you have to be very, very strong mentally and not just be sort of working in the kitchen and in the restaurant and you're running your property and the restaurant. That doesn't really match up. So what you have to do, you have to really show us the teamwork. From A to Z, you have to show us that you have achieved your goal and you are trying your best to go to the end game. So we are listening to you. Thank you.
Brilliant. That's great advice. Thank you very much. Thank you. And whilst our judges are voting, we'll just head to our panel judges again and just ask, judges, what are you hoping to see from the next 2 rounds specifically from our contestants? I'll start with you there, Tom.
Look, there's 2 elements of it, really, to hit the high end. There is creating income, and the other side is creating wealth. For me, I want to hear from the contestant, whoever goes through the next round, is how did they create the wealth? Creating income is everybody's cup of tea, but creating wealth, whether it's property investment or stock market or running, like one of the contestants is 17 branch, he's got 500 staff. He stood out for me. That's about, on an average, 30 per restaurant. I mean, 30 staff having in each restaurant, we can imagine, being in the industry, how much of a turnover he's doing. So these are the stories I want to hear. How did they reach their pinnacle point? Are they still hungry to be the first billionaire, Asian billionaire? I want to see someone saying that I want to be the first Asian billionaire in the UK.
Right, yeah, that's good advice. I guess we all know that, running restaurants, becoming millionaire from restaurants is a lot harder now than it was about 10, 20 years ago.
Yes.
Margins are slim. So what are our contestants doing to diversify their
Tanya, I
portfolio?
think it's always been hard. Look, when our first generation started, just go back for a second, they didn't know how to speak English. They didn't have the money. They didn't have the experience. They're the one who struggled more than now. Now, at least we know how to go about. We've seen other people's success. So all they need to do is, I want to hear how they are driven, how are they looking to reach at the pinnacle, and how are they managing, big operation. Because if we hear that, the audience can learn from it as well. Thank you.
Fantastic, brilliant. Thank you, Toff. Well, I think all of our judges needed 1 more minute or so for final results. But in the meantime, how did you, Bashir Ahmed, how did you think the contestants did in terms of this round? But also going back to what Toff said, do you agree with what he said, that he needs specific examples of wealth value creation in the next round?
Well, if I see from as a businessman, it's not actually winner or loser or the storyline. Is actually the participant learning from us the practical way to success. Like while I opened my first restaurant in 1981, I had a 13 bay leaf. Because I struggled for a few years.
Did you say 13 bay leaf at your door?
Yeah.
Wow, oh my gosh, at the same time.
Because I was expert in hotel management, not as a restaurator.
Well, there you are.
So, but I started and I survived. And that is the story, that how I survived, how I opened 5 restaurants. So those story we would like to hear. And we wanted to pass on to the next entrepreneurs to learn from your end. So those are the most important fact and figures we want, because nowadays, as my colleague mentioned it, nowadays the restaurant depend on concept. You just cannot you cannot just say that I open a restaurant, and we all know that a restaurant cannot be for all the client, and you have to decide many things. Our first generation do not had to consider that angle. You can just open a restaurant and it would run. But now you have to see what is your concept. Do you want the footfall restaurant or destinated restaurant? So all based on concept. So challenge are many challenges are here. So if you can express yourself in the right direction, so maybe we can also come up with few points and give you the feedback.
Thank you very much, Bashir Ahmed. That's some fantastic advice, particularly going into the second round where the focus is actually on diversifying investments. So very well received. Okay, right. Well, I think all of our judges have finished with their voting. So without further ado, let's reveal the most anticipated results of the first round. So the results. Oh, wow. Well, look at that. Chai Green Birmingham there, storming ahead with 92 points. Unfortunately, we've had to say goodbye to Radhuni Birmingham with 48 points and Olive Naturally Indian at 44 points. Well, commiserations to you two, but congratulations to the rest. So now it's time for round two. Right, so round two, now that we whittled it down by 2 contestants, is about recipe for success. And we want the contestants to particularly focus on specific business strategies. So you want to hear contestants to discuss how they became millionaires, but particularly to do with their investments perhaps outside the restaurant industry as well. So let's call to the stage our winner of the previous round. Let's start off with Hasnain Siddiqui of Chai Green. So welcome back to the stage, Hasnain. Lovely. So, Hasnain, well, congratulations. You've absolutely stormed on the first round, so well done. Right, so no pressure as you head into the second round to keep up with that lead. Just a quick recap, you have 1 minute and the judges would specifically like to hear what strategies drove you to your success and how did you grow your wealth beyond the restaurant industry. So, off you go when you're ready.
Okay. So, in 2022, we've just won the Best Restaurant of the Year award in Birmingham. The brand was doing awesome, but there was time to change the internal management. It was quite hard. I sacked the head chef, having just won the Restaurant of the Year award, brought in new, fresh talent in their 20s, and then we just took on a new menu. We understood our customers. We've got 5,000 reviews, which are about 4.6 rated on Google, and really wanted to make sure we've got a thriving culture of staff that are looking forward to treating customers right. As a brand director, I decided we would like to franchise the business because that would create us the wealth. So now we've got about 10 franchisees, and my wealth, a lot of it is getting generated from recurring revenues where we charge loyalties on 5% of the sales. That has helped me to be able to invest back in the community through our supplier partnerships.
Brilliant, brilliant. Good way to end it. Thank you very much there, Hasnain. Take a seat.
Thank you.
Lovely. Okay, fine. So that was Hasnain from Chai Green. The next contestant is Ahmed Badir from Al Badir Restaurant. Welcome back to the stage.
Thank you so much for having me back.
So, when you're ready, your minute is up.
Yes. So, when we started, it was very much authentic and traditional Lebanese food. And after a few years of trading, we realized that we need to start focusing on family platters and food for groups and to branch out and do a little bit more of catering, outside catering. Lately, this is what have kept us afloat, with utilities and everything getting really expensive, and all the grocery shopping have quadrupled in price. We thought probably the best thing to do is to kind of reach out to wedding planners, all type of caterings, and that investment in that field has really helped us and boost our sales and kept us really afloat during this tough time now. Also, going back to what our kind of success and our main focus is our focus on customer service.
Brilliant. Okay.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
No problem.
Thanks very much there, Mohammed. Ahmed. Okay, next we have Tabula Kitchen. Mohammed Lakel. Welcome back to the stage, Mohammed. So just a couple of pointers there again. Please do focus on what strategies drove your success and any strategies that you've used to grow your wealth, perhaps beyond the restaurant industry. So off you go when you're ready.
Yeah. It's actually my success, the way I've seen it, the commitment, the hard work, the patience as well, and the mainly and most important thing, it's to get professional staff. Without professional staff, you're nothing. I've seen it myself. I'm in the kitchen always. Without professional staff, you're not gonna go far. And money-wise, I'm investing not only in the restaurant, I'm buying some properties, I'm renting it out. I'm doing so many things. I'm doing some what is it called? Trading as well. So which is trading is he's gonna get me there. That's what I'm thinking, and that's it really.
Fantastic, brilliant, brilliant. Thanks very much for sticking to the brief there, Mohammed. Excellent. Okay, next we have to the stage Samir Ahmed from Miso Hospitality Group. Well, Samir comes onto the stage. Just to recap on what this round is about for our guests at home. So it's about discussing strategies that have led to their success, including restaurant management and investments beyond the restaurant industry. So when you're ready, Samir, floor is yours.
Amazing. So let's first start with our strategy for generating wealth and not just income. It comes to something very simple. Own your property, number one. That's what we've done. Own your property, so bricks and mortar. Number two is own your brand, create your brand, trademark your brand so you can grow this. Own your companies so that you can grow this. That's what we've done. Number three is to make sure that we diversify our portfolio. So, like when we first started, we just opened Thai restaurants. We decided to diversify and open a Japanese restaurant and a sushi restaurant. This allowed us to experiment with something new and a different market that we weren't very familiar with. Another thing is creating your loyal community. Create a community that whatever you open, the day you open it, you will have hundreds of people lined up on the door. So the first thing that we did was we built an online platform. Last year alone, somehow we were able to gain over 200 million views. This is something that we never expected. But once we saw the return on our investment, we decided to continue.
Fantastic, brilliant. What a passionate pitch. Thank you very much there, Samir. You can take a seat. Brilliant. Thanks, Samir. Next we have to the stage Shamem Ahmed from Onslow Bounty Lounge. Welcome back.
Thank you very much.
Floor is yours.
Yeah, my passion is because my restaurant is nearby Shrewsbury Hospital. My customer, 70 to 75%, all of them doctor, nurse, professional person, because I train staff every 3 months. And when I opened my restaurant, since 20 years, never ever gone down 5-star. All the time is 5-star. And also, I got good customer service. Anything complaint from the customers, I take seriously. And also, COVID time, I gave them food without any charge. Sometimes 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock in the morning, because nobody open, just one restaurant is open. That's my tactics. That's why everybody knows.
Fantastic. And what about diversifying your wealth?
From this restaurant, I bought lots of things. I create another business, buying and selling cars as well. So from Onslow Bounty, this is legacy. I got 5 brothers, all of them.
Fantastic. So that's what we wanted to hear. Brilliant. Thank you very much.
You
you may take a seat. Well, that's the end of round 2, Recipe for Success. That's gone very, very quickly. So we're going to head to the judges now to discuss who they thought shone in that second round, and also so they can actually get voting as well. So I'll head to you first. Mr. Huck, what did you think of the second round, do you think our contestants took on board the feedback that you gave them in the first, or do you still think there's room for improvement?
There is a big room for improvement. I mean, obviously, kind of stories we've been hearing that a lot of us made our millions. For example, small takeaway. Initially invested on a very small amount of money. They made a profit of like 50, 60 grand first year. Then they took that money, invested on property. Somehow it's gone double. And then refinanced the house and bought another house, and that's how they made their millions. There's stories like that we hear, what investment, whether it's stock market, whether it's property, real estate, or any other forms of other different businesses I wanted to hear. But there are a few bits where covered through the restaurant, like multi-chain, grown their group of restaurants. A few bits covered, so it's hit and miss, but it's still there.
Okay, hear that, contestants. Lots of room for improvement still in the final round. And how about you, Mr. Ahmed? This round you're an expert at it, at diversifying wealth. So, what did you think of the contestants' performance?
Well, it's you see, the McDonald's, they are making money not by selling the burger with the properties themselves. The first concept of McDonald's was to buy the properties. And that is the one good diversion you can consider. But too many diversion also is divert from your own business as well. There is a two word we need to understand as an entrepreneur. If you have institutional management, you can do the diversion. Institutional management is layman's word. You have a good manager, you have a floor manager, your income is enough so they can run the business on behalf of you. If you have to run your own business and if you are looking for diversion, this is a high risk area to be considered. And we heard it's good that you actually followed the instruction of explanation how you are doing your diversion. So it's very good to hear it. But I fully agree. I still miss, as in our generation, maybe we did not follow properly the rule book of the concept of the business development. We just follow our instinct. But you generation, we actually appreciate that you follow the rules of the game because challenges is very, very high. Thank you.
Brilliant. Thank you very much. And how about you, Tafazu? Any standouts for you on this round?
Yeah, really. Well, they all did well, but we have to understand they get only 1 minute, and it's quite literally impossible to explain everything. But the connection with the community, owning property, one of the participants said, and more importantly, I like the diversification. Not putting everything in your one basket. Let me tell you one more thing. To what Bashir Bhai said, to have institutional management, I can categorically tell you the success is in your feet if you are a great recruiter.
Yeah.
It's all about that, finding the right person managing your business, and you rely on them, and then you move your concentration and energy for the next business or opportunity.
Fantastic. Thank you very much. And I want to head to the mentors now, Ruhul in particular, because you have also diversified your wealth. You're now in the property game, originally starting out in restaurants. I mean, is that what you wanted to see from your mentees a little bit more, or?
I've got two mics. There was Mohammed and the other participants talking about they've got multi-streams. So it's not just catering. They're doing trading and everything else. But there are high risks in trading. It's just not all glory as we see and we know it. So yeah, it's creating multiple streams. But again, I'm going to ask we want to hear about your failures.
Yes.
Again, please discuss and share your experience about your failures.
Yeah, and like Tafazil mentioned, like they only have 1 minute, so it's very difficult to convey. But if they can convey 2 points, like I've almost given them a tip at the start, that's all they need to discuss, right?
Yeah, that's correct. Yeah.
Okay. Fantastic. And how about you, Sasha? Any standouts for your mentees on this round?
Yeah, definitely much better. Thanks for sticking to your bullet points, guys. 1 minute isn't enough because obviously, you can't elaborate on your successes and failures, but you stuck to your plan, which is good. But again, focus on the booklet that's been given to you, bullet point your notes, and then just state your points as clearly as possible, and that will get you the points. Thank you.
Brilliant, thank you, Shatil. And Fajli, what are your thoughts? Any failures that stood out for you in particular in that previous round?
I think they're all actually really did well. One of the things I would recommend is beforehand prepare. And because you only have 1 minute, if you prepare in advance, then you will know exactly what to say and what to cover. And I think one of the things I was really looking for was the strategic objective is that what is the short, medium, long-term plan? That didn't come across. And the innovation, some of them did mention about innovation and where they went, but I think those should have been a bit more on innovation and how they innovated into diverse market. But investments, it's not just about the restaurant, because some of you are struggling with restaurant businesses. But how you're actually looking at other investments, some of you mentioned that as well, but it's actually a bit more on how you can actually, your experience can support others to follow in your footsteps. So I think a bit more on preparation, on exactly what you want to say, to capture that minute and just cover everything that you want to cover and practice.
Fantastic advice. Thank you very much, Fajli. And Atikur, I mean, I'm sure your clients that are in the restaurant trade, they have, their hands in many other different pies as well in terms of diversifying wealth. So in terms of what the contestants you've heard today, is there any of them that you felt actually, that's quite interesting?
This episode was recipe for success and investment strategies. So most of them, they could hit the recipe for success quite well. But I think on investment strategies, they could. I personally think they didn't have enough time to say about their investment strategies, because investment strategies is they need a little bit more time. They needed a little bit more time. But one thing, obviously, still some of them they said about they have diversified on trading in properties, though trading is very, very risky. This is not for everyone's game. But property, everyone could invest in properties. But trading, of course, if you don't have very, very good skill, I wouldn't recommend anyone to go into trading, because I have seen loads of very, very professional people, they lost their money in trading. So, but property, like I said, everyone have more or less a little bit knowledge. You can invest in properties, because in the UK we have seen you can't lose in properties.
Famous last words there. Yeah, there's recession on the horizon, isn't it?
Even on recession, if you see those who bought the properties in 2010, 11, on subprime mortgage problem, still, if you see today, they are in profit. All of them. No one can say that the property value in 2010 is higher than now. So those whoever even invested in 2010, they are in profit. And investment-wise, I always advise my client to leverage their capital. The leveraging means if you have, say, 100,000, rather than investing it into one properties, try to get the mortgage, and then if you could invest in 2 or 3 properties, then how it will increase your wealth is, say if you invest 25% in one property and then the property price increased by 25%, you are making your investment, in fact, double.
Brilliant, okay. Well, I think we should have another episode just talking about, maybe yourself and Big Silver One can get together and talk about property investments, yeah? And I wanted to go to you as well there, Safiyan, because obviously, you started out in the restaurant business and you've managed to create, an empire for yourself. So what were your strategies and anything you could advise on to our contestants today?
Absolutely. I think I agree with the panel with the fact that 1 minute's not enough. But what is the long-term goal? What is the vision? And how often are you reviewing that vision? And within that, how is your self-growth? I know 1 minute is a lot to capture, But when you look at your self-growth, how is your management and leadership skills? I think there's only one person that kind of touched that, because as you're growing and you can go and impulse and yes, let's go and invest in a property, but what's the long-term strategy? How are we going to get to the next level? What are we doing? And who's managing and maintaining and sustaining what the foundation brought you to the place where you are? So for me, the vision is very, very important, and the management and leadership skill is parallel to that.
Excellent.
Thank you.
Thanks very much, Sophia. And Mohammed Shabadam, apologies, but we're going to come to you on the next round, so you can have the airtime for that. So we've got the results in, viewers, and it is, I've got to say, a nail-biting finisher for this one. So without further ado, let's release the results. There we go. We have Miso Hospitality Group taking the win, storming ahead once again, 92 points. And finally, our bottom two, sadly, we have to say goodbye to Onslow Balti Lounge and Tabbouleh Kitchen that have tied with 60 points each. So commiserations to you both, Onslow Balti Lounge and Tabbouleh Kitchen. You've been fantastic contestants, and I'm sure you'll see lots of punters coming your way soon off the back of this show. So we're now into our third and final round, where we're talking about cost saving, revenue increase and giving back. So here's a short clip. So round three is all about cost saving, revenue increase and giving back. We've whittled it down from 7 contestants down to our final 3, with one that'll be crowned the Restaurant Talent Show winner and will go through to the Business Conference Show finals next year. So just a quick reminder for the voting. So 60% of the votes are from our panel judges, with 40% for our special judges. So without further ado, let's call our first contestant of the third round back to the stage, and we'll start off with the winner of our second round, which was Miso Hospitality Group, Samir Ahmed. Well done, Samir, on taking the crown on the second round. So this is where it all matters. So you've got 1 minute on the clock to discuss everything to do with exploring cost-saving measures, revenue growth tactics, and contributions to any social causes.
So very quickly, it's very important, like you said, to manage your costs and to understand where your revenue is growing and how to grow your revenue. There is long-term, there is short-term, and there is medium-term ways of growth. What we look at doing is economic sustainability, corporate sustainability, and environmental sustainability. These are our 3 vital ways that we can move forward. In terms of how we're giving back and how we can generate wealth, like the panel had asked, is very simply that we have decided to invest back into our motherland, Bangladesh. We've decided to create long-term wealth by investing in the people. The people is where the heart is, and this is where we've invested. So we've diversified into Bangladesh's nature, what Bangladesh is known for, the tea, the greenery. This is what we've invested into, and this is a way that we're able to move forward. Finally, just before I finish, the 5 key things that we're able to look at is, number 1, is to generate wealth and to have long-term success, is number 1, to have the intention. Number 2 is to have the vision. Number 3 is to act upon it. Number 4 is to believe. And number 5 is to have tawakkul and leave it in Allah's hands. Try your best.
Excellent, brilliant philanthropic pitch there by Samir Ahmed from Miso Hospitality Group. Right, our second contestant is Ahmed Badir from Al Badir Restaurant. Welcome back to the stage.
Thank you for having me back.
Just a quick note on the questions the judges are hoping that you will discuss in this 1 minute. How do you manage cost effectively, and how do you give back to the community? So when you're ready, off you go.
Yes, so touching back to long-term and short-term goals. Our long-term goal is to invest a lot on the catering side of it, because we've seen a lot of success. There is no Lebanese or Arabic catering, so we don't have a lot of competition, which is a really good thing for us in Birmingham. And the Lebanese kind of food market in general in the world is really becoming more and more popular, and a lot of people are tending to vegan, vegetarian and healthy and plant-based and things like that. And that is what the Lebanese food is very popular for. Second thing is we are investing in or creating a franchise for one of our branches, which is a Lebanese street food concept, which is called Pitalicious. We opened it pre-COVID. We thought it was going to really struggle, but actually COVID was a really good thing for us. We were one of only 3 restaurants in about 3-mile radius to be open during the COVID period, and that went sales, delivery and collection through the roof. And thanks to actually COVID, we became really successful in that area. So we're looking to franchise Pitalicious as well. So that is one of our long-term goals.
Fantastic. Thank you very much, Ahmed. I like the name of that franchise business.
Thank you.
Excellent.
Appreciate it.
Brilliant.
Thank you.
Well, thank you very much. Well, that is Ahmed from Al Badir Restaurant. We're going to go to a quick break now, but don't go anywhere. We'll be back with the third and final round and our final contestant of the third round, and also the results of who will be crowned the Restaurant Talent Star Show. Welcome back to the Catering Circle Restaurant Talent Show 2024. If you've just joined us, where have you been? You've missed 2 nail-biting rounds of 7 contestants talking about their self-made millionaire success stories. We're now on to round 3, our third and final round, where we've heard from 2 of our 3 finalists in the round with 1 left to go. So, without further ado, let's bring on to the stage our final contestant, Chai Green Hasnain Siddiqui. Well, welcome back to the stage, Hasnain. Remember, this round is all about cost saving, revenue increase and giving back. You have 1 minute to wow the judges, and off you go when you're ready.
So the big dream is for us to go to Saudi, America and Canada, and that could only be achieved if we are delivering an EBITDA of 18%. So I target myself to be able to deliver EBITDA of 18%. And the way we do that, I have 5 managers. They manage a budget of £100,000, which means our purchases are at 28%. The IT system we use, they look at the sales data, they look at the staffing demand, and they do the automatic rota, which means we're able to get the rota cost to be about 25%. Energy efficiency is really big thing for us. We've taken advantage of all the government grants to make sure our kitchen equipment like the walk-in fridges, freezers, they're energy efficient, changing the LED light bulbs to saving efficiency. We also work with suppliers. Because we're able to buy such bulk, we get kickbacks of 2%. That results in a lot of cost savings. I mean, last year in itself, all the costs were rising, but the absolute number actually fell down by about £50,000.
Excellent. Brilliant. Thank you very much, Hasnain. So you are our final contestant. You can take a seat because we're going to have to head to the judges and voting. So judges, while you commence with your voting, we can bring back our 3 contestants back to the stage, because contestants, this is like a final round. So if all 3 come back on. Right, so of our 3 contestants to come back on the stage, so we will start with quick fire round questions from our judges to the contestants. So judges, if you have a question for any particular of the contestants, please say before you state your question. If not, you can throw it out to all 3. So I'll start with you there, Bashir Ahmed. Do you have a question?
Yes, I have a question to Mr. Badr. Do you believe that using the technology, it could be one of the tools for cost saving?
Yeah, absolutely.
If you come to the mic.
Yeah, absolutely. I think so. I think so. I believe so, because stock counting is very important to know what you have, what you don't have, when to get and when not to get, and when not to stock up. Also, the current EPOS systems that are everywhere at the moment, especially for the catering and restaurants in general, they are very efficient in terms of telling you all the statistics and data that you need: customers, bums and seats, what is selling, what is not selling, if you need to cut the menu, if you want to reduce anything that you need to reduce, staff. It's a genie in an ecosystem. So yeah, absolutely 100%. And if you can utilize it and if you can work it properly and you can manage it properly, I think training staff is very important to be able to train people to understand how it works, and because there's a lot of quirky things with it to use and utilize. So you can absolutely smash it, and you can 100% save money.
Excellent. Thank you very much. Thank you. And Mr. Shahabuddin, do you have a question for any of our contestants in particular?
When you say you're, sorry, Mr. Chawala, so you are rapidly growing your business, and you said you got franchises, you got 10 franchises or something, you said?
Yeah.
Mm. Have you actually diversified with your business any properties or anything else that, like others says, that they have invested on different things?
Yeah. So in terms of diversifying our business, my personal goal is to have 5 brand-owned stores. So currently we have 4 brand-owned stores. So we would like to open another brand store. Within that, we're looking to grow into other segments, but within the hospitality industry. So one of the challenges we face with Chai Green, the setup cost is nearly about £250,000. So I want to develop another business model which has a setup cost of less than £100,000. So we're going down a shawarma concept. It's basically where you get to choose your meat, you get to choose your salad, you get to choose your bread, and you create a concept where it's a healthy, fresh concept without naming any other competitors. That cost could easily be achieved within 100K. Something else what we're looking to do is something which I personally am fond of, is giving something back to the community and making sure the community has all the resources. So we're looking to go into the fitness industry. This is where I have my mentors who've been able to help me and come up with a gym concept, which is very non-traditional gym concept, which is out there in the market. So it's more of a very boutique boot camp gym where you go, you get a heart rate and a wristwatch, and you can literally see how well you're doing as if you're playing a game.
Thanks,
And
that's
after
amazing.
each-
Yeah, I thought you were about to say you go and you get a kebab in the gym. You know, that would be a
You create the problem and solution.
Yeah, brilliant.
I-
Mohammed, I saw you put your hand up there. Ahmed, would you like to say something about the shawarma?
Yeah, he's competing
If you come to the
directly,
mic.
You have to go to the mic.
I was going to tell him that's what we started 5 years ago. The Pitalicious brand is basically Subway, but Lebanese street food. So you walk in, you pick your salad, you pick your laffa, pita, or if you want to have in a loaded box, and then whatever topping you want to have. You want to have falafel, chicken shawarma, meat shawarma, mix. And that's what we're currently doing, and we're looking to franchise.
Excellent, thank you very much.
Can I ask Samir a question? if
Yes,
you
of
don't mind?
course, yes, very quickly.
We have heard a lot about your 200 million hits and all that. What do you gain out of it?
What we gain out of it is that we're building a community for long term. We have a long term strategy. So what we're trying to do is inspire a whole new generation of entrepreneurs, of chefs, whatever the field may be, but to come forward. The main initiative has been that my brother, he's an 18-year-old award-winning chef. He won the award for the best Asian chef in the UK last year at the age of 18.
Wow.
Through initiatives like this, we're able to do quick and easy videos where you can learn how to cook a dish in 60 seconds. By doing things like this, we're able to inspire and show people, wherever you're at university, wherever you are in the world, you can pick up these ingredients and you can cook something fresh and healthy as well.
Thank you.
Thank you.
This last question.
Okay, excellent. And Fajli, I'd like to head to you. Do you have any final questions for our 3 remaining contestants?
Thank you. You're actually all brilliant. And I do like your concept at the minute because my Curry King show was about cooking at home, but with the restaurant food. So my question to all 3 of you, as you know, energy has been a massive problem for all of us, like the energy bills. How did you actually cope with the energy bills? Because restaurants rely on cooking.
Yeah. Just quickly.
So what I would say very quickly is that we actually rely a lot on energy. We use high-powered wok burners, which go up to 500 degrees. So for us, it hit us really hard. Our gas bills, I can give you for one example, for one branch, went from £1,300 to £8,000 for just a month. So things like this, you try and see where is the knock-on effect and who is it actually impacting and how do we go about this. But what we do is we work with a system where we make everything fresh, so we don't have to keep the wok on for too long. We make everything fresh, very easy. We prepare from the morning, 6, 7 a.m. And when it's time to cook, we can cook a dish within 2-3 minutes.
Excellent, thank you very much. And Fajli, we actually had an entire episode on the Catering Circle about energy savings. So yeah, so for any viewers at home that want to, look back on that, that's a really good one to watch because it answers all those questions.
Yeah, because it impacted on the profit in restaurant catering business as well.
Yeah,
it was a shame, but.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, and I'm going to head to the our panel judges actually. So panel judges, back to Mr. Haq. Any final questions for our 3
of course.
remainers?
So you guys are millionaires, I'm sure, because it's success stories. Tell us how you money is about distributions. How are you distributing your money? What percentage you're spending on your lifestyle? Briefly, how you improve your lifestyle, and also what are you giving back to the community? Very briefly, 30 seconds, please.
So I think I live a basic lifestyle, but like to change my cars every 3 years.
Okay.
In terms of
on the TikTok multimillionaire car, Porsche, and all that.
No, it's just the car. That's all.
Okay. It's all about balancing. If you make money, you got to also spend on yourself a small percentage, maybe 10 to 20%.
70% goes back into investing back into the business. 70% goes back into investing into the business.
That's good.
In terms of giving back, since we've started, we've given 2,000 meals via United Nations to share a meal. It's an app where you can go and just donate a meal. So that's one of the things we do. The other thing is we've worked with food banks. So on a quiet Tuesday, every Tuesday, we have local food banks that come to us. Any food wastage that we've picked up goes to them. The other thing which we do is we're working with local schools. What we do there is I send my catering staff there to be able to go into the schools and volunteer, whether it's to teach the kids in food technology lessons or mentor them. And one thing which we also do is take on work experience kids, and I personally mentor them. And I have at least 2 candidates since we've started who've come and worked for us full time.
Excellent, brilliant. Thanks, Hasnain. And I just want to quickly head to Ruhul, because Ruhul, I'm not sure if you've spotted, but unfortunately all of your mentees are out of the round. Sorry. Yeah, you definitely were, I noticed. Yeah. What do you think that they did wrong, and these contestants?
No, I think they've done, these contestants, they've got, they're talking about fluctuating on the numbers, especially yourself. And I just wanted to ask as a question that you delegate for MISO, like your 500 staff. Is it UK based or overseas? Who manages these? Is it an HR company or
So one thing that we've done very differently actually is that we hire all internally, as in we don't look at any other recruiters, we do it ourselves. What we've done is we've been able over the last 20 years to build a established network of high-valued individuals, the best sushi chefs, the best Thai chefs. And what we've done is we've simplified it. What we've done is we've gone back to the basics. My father and brother have developed a recipe that is the same in every single branch. No matter who cooks it, will be the exact same. We've looked at things such as the time it takes. So even if it's 1-2 seconds over, the taste can be completely different. So we've tried to make sure that way. We've also, the way we've recruited is we've gone into schools and colleges. We've teamed up with T-Levels, which is a new initiative that's rolled out by the government. We've also done things such as show the youth that there is a new face and there is a way of development as well. So we look to develop young, talented individuals as well, like how my father mentored my brother and myself, the same way we'd like to mentor many people to come through as well.
Excellent. Thank you very much, Samir. That's a good little pitch there. Right, so the moment that we've all been waiting for in the studio and at home, the final results of the Restaurant Talent Star Show of Self-Made Millionaire topic today. So we've whittled it down from 7 contestants down to 3, but who will be crowned the winner? So drum roll, please. Right, okay, so in at number 3 we have Al Badir Restaurant with 72 points. Secondly, Chai Green with 86. And storming ahead, Miso Hospitality Group, Samir Ahmed. So congratulations to Samir. Samir, any final words? How do you feel?
Firstly, I want to just say what an honour it's been to be able to tell you a short amount of our story. It's been really refreshing, and it's nice to talk to people who have been in the industry, people who have been in this for longer than us, and it's really refreshing. It's also been great to be with individuals, you know, to my left, who have been able to change their industries as well and to be innovative as well, and also all the other brothers who have come on before us as well. What an honour it's been. One thing I would like to say is that we have to try and bring in a new generation. We can't let this be an aging industry. That's the way it's going, but we must show that there is a new way. We have to provide other initiatives, like such as, you know, it may be like, if you work this amount, you can have this time off. We provide our staff with, you know, we've done an initiative where we give our staff all the tips and service charge. We don't take it for ourselves. That way, they're able to see the fruits of their labour as well. That's something that, you know, we do ask and we do plead that if you are able to, for the people in the industry, please try and adopt this.
Excellent.
And look after your team.
Thank you very much,
Thank you
Samir.
very much.
Thank you, very commendable. Well done.
Samir is an example.
Yes. So final comments from you then,
Well,
Toff.
look, it's not about, this is what I say, it's not about winning. It's about sharing your great ideas so our viewers can be inspired. And all of you has done an amazing job. Or everyone is an inspiration. We all have a story to tell, and you've done it eloquently and brilliantly. Congratulations to everyone. I know I've been there. It's not easy to explain the story within a minute or 2 minutes, but you've done amazingly. Well done.
Hear, hear, brilliant. So that's all we have time for. But as Toff said, all of our contestants have been eloquent and brilliant on tonight's show. So thank you for joining us on tonight's Catering Circle restaurant show, talent show. My name is Tanya Rahman, and please do join us again on September the 3rd on our next topic, where we'll be discussing competing with online companies. Good evening and thank you.